Hey guys, it's Brindley. Happy Monday. I'm always excited. You know it. I say it every time. Tonight's topic. So I picked this topic about a week ago, and then two different people in my circle actually posted a quote that this topic is centered around in the last week. And I was like, wow, I wonder if a lot of people are feeling this way. And then I started really digging into it and started thinking, right now we're in a very virtual reality, so to speak. We're probably spending more time on social media than we ever have. And so we're doing a lot of comparing our outside or our insides to other people's outsides. And we're also comparing a lot of our outsides to other people's insides. In, Facebook and Instagram and all of these social media platforms, more and more people are getting vulnerable and they're sharing things and they're getting deeper and they're getting more intimate. And so it's causing us to have opportunity to compare ourselves more to other people. And so what I wanted to talk about tonight was a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. And I didn't know that this quote was actually from First Lady Roosevelt until I started diving a little bit into the topic. And the quote is, "What other people think of me is none of my business." And this was Eleanor Roosevelt. Most of you know her as the First Lady. She was also a reform leader. And she wrote this quote. And I find this so interesting because as I went into researching tonight's topic and what causes us to put so much thought and so much care into other people's opinions of us, I wanted to know, what are the possibilities that cause this? Like, what is the root? Where does this come from? And I was fascinated as I started to research it and started to read about it, is we are naturally as human beings conditioned to seek and be given approval. If you think about growing up, we were rewarded for good behavior. So, I'm living with toddlers right now, and we're in the world of potty training. And so a lot of the language is if you go potty on the potty, then you get a treat, right? We call it a treaty in this house. So everything was behavior, reward, behavior, reward. We were praised, we were incentivized. So when we don't earn that approval, we tend to believe that we're not good enough or that we're not liked. And so we're constantly seeking the approval of others. A lot of us are people pleasers and we want everyone to like us. Who doesn't want everyone to like them? Nobody wants to think about not being liked or someone thinking negatively about them. Yet the truth is that 99.9% of the time, the way someone else feels about you has nothing to do with you. It's them. It has something to do with their filter, their experience, what they're going through in their life, and they're projecting it on you. And so don't allow yourself to be someone else's projector. Turn the projector off for yourself. Don't project yourself on other people. So when you find yourself comparing yourself to other people, or I'm not as pretty as her, I'm not as smart as her, we've all been there. We've all done it in some capacity. Or I'm not as successful as her or him, or I haven't gotten that far. Switch the mindset to focus on the things that you have done instead of focusing on the things that you haven't done. Focus on the wins instead of the things that are pulling you into comparison from others. Seek approval from within. Remember, we've talked about that in the past, the difference between self-confidence and self-worth. Your self-worth comes from within. Something I've learned through my journey in the last 8 years is the hula hoop analogy. This is my hula hoop. I have a hula hoop around me, and if it doesn't exist in this hula hoop, it's none of my business. Whatever's in their hula hoop is their business. The reason that their opinions are none of my business is because that's their business, not my business. Negative words in conversations can have such and hold such a longer and travel much further in our head. So it can hold a longer space and it can travel much further than its positive counterparts. So we really have to work extra hard to keep those thoughts positive. And if you're not feeling good around someone, you have a choice to not be around that person. Everything is a choice. Yet before you choose to avoid or choose to run, work towards confronting, getting to the root. Where does it come from? Where do you seek that approval from? Why do you seek that approval? Where does it stem from? Another thing is that the more you follow your dreams and the more successful you become, the more people know you, which the law of numbers says that the more people that know you, the more opinions there will be. And there will be people that will like you. There will be people that don't like you. And there will be people that will project their stuff all over you, especially ones that don't even know you. Right. That's what always fascinates me is when I hear something about myself and I'm like, wow, like I've never met that person, or I've maybe had one interaction with them. So just to remember the source and where it's coming from, and that the more popular and the more successful you become, the more people will know you and the more people opportunities there will be for people not to like you. And if you think about it, people like, even Jesus and MLK, Martin Luther King, and Mother Teresa, people that did a lot of good in the world, there were people that didn't like them. There were people that disagreed with them. Not everyone is going to like you all the time. And again, that has nothing to do with you. That has everything to do with them. And I'll leave you with this final note. And I thought this was so, so powerful. When you give people permission to not like you or judge you, you will no longer take their opinions personally. So I challenge you today to give people permission not to like you. It's okay if they don't like you. It's okay if they judge you. Give them permission to do that so that they don't hold power over you. I hope you have a great week, and we will see you next Monday.